On this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast.
Everybody hands up, this is a stick-up!
I don't think that would be necessary.
Bang, 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 bang!
After finally making it back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon.
You guys just got back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon with Gattlebee in tow. You make it back safely. Gattlebee in tote, bag of holding.
Ah. and my pet lizard.
You sit down back there. What do you say?
We let Gattlebee poke out of the bag.
Yeah, we just dump the back upside down so he falls out.
The Outlaws are left with an unsolved mystery.
As far as I can tell from my research, my investigations, the Powderkeg Punks ain't got nothing to do with muggling.
And those fire starters would sooner blow themselves to smithereens than work for the shield marshals. So
They did.
Very good at
A
it.
lot of them.
yeah,
did.
so you have personal experience then.
Yeah, they blew themselves up quite a bit.
And make a plan to find out why the punks are on their trail.
You catch one of the patrons and ask him, hey, you ever heard about like Powderkeg Punks or whatever? He says, those Powderkeg people? I hear they were trying to break into the Longhorn Lounge up in Skyside about a week ago.
Oh.
They brought some sort of monkey with clockwork limbs.
The monkey goblin.
Monkey Goblin.
It's time for some sleuthing.
Don't come in, I'm investigating.
I'm following a lead.
Now.
So we have a lot of yucks and yums,
You.
but not a lot of yucking. We have a lot of goofs and gaffs on this podcast.
Can we yams instead of yucks?
No. And something happened last episode. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something about wind came up whenever Psyche and Chester were interacting.
That was 2 episodes ago now.
Was it?
No, like earlier today, the last episode we recorded. I don't remember if it was your characters. I don't remember if it was just Jacob and Drow talking.
What happened was the episode before that while we were fighting
Dewey
dipshit. I rolled my who's it, what's it, because I'm a magic boy.
Yeah, I know.
And I failed. And wind happened.
I think you two were talking about it in the recap.
Yeah.
But like one of you said something involving wind, and it reminded me of a ridiculous moment from one of our home games back when we were playing Reign of Winter, pre-COVID,
Oh, boy.
pre-podcast.
Second thought, I don't like this.
What happened was we were playing Reign of Winter. We were in book 3, which is basically a mega dungeon called Artrosa, and you guys were deep into
Yep.
it. And there was this one room that had like an open window to the north. It had like frost giants in it. Micah was playing with us that day. You fought the frost giants, and all I was trying to do was read the goddamn flavor text. And part of the flavor text, like the beginning would be like, the winds from the north, blah, 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 stuff about the room.
I remember.
And every time, for like 3 or 4 times in a row.
It happened at like they were hours apart, but it happened twice in a single day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because we did the flavor text and it happened. But what happened was Jacob farted as soon as I said, the winds from the north. He farted.
Me too.
And it happened once, like before the frost giant combat, and then we came back like hours later, after taking a break or whatever. The combat was over. Flavor text happened again. The winds from the north.
Or winds from beyond.
The winds from beyond, whatever. And it just ground the session to a halt. And I believe, if I remember correctly, I tried to read it again, and you did it again, right in the middle.
Jacob has no shortage of farts in his body.
I am a man with a certain set of skills.
In the moment.
I have no control over them.
In the moment, that was one of the most infuriating things to go through as a GM. I'm tired. It's the weekend. I've prepped this adventure. I got combats to go through. It's a mega dungeon that is like all open-ended, and I can't even read flavor text.
Got so mad.
Without
We're so upset.
without the whole session just stopping.
Listen, appropriately timed farts are funny by themselves. I'm sorry if you disagree, anyone out there, but you're wrong. They are at least humorous, but you got so mad over it that's what really gets me giggling when I think about it. Just so
I was so
salty.
irritated. In hindsight, it's one of the funniest things that's happened at the table. I mean, there's been lots of funny things on this show too, but it got me thinking, why don't we go around the room and talk about what each of you think is some of the funniest moments that have happened in your whole tabletop career. Kat, do you want to start us off?
I'm sure I've already mentioned this or we've talked about it, but I struggled to learn the Pathfinder as quickly as my peers here. And so I once rolled it was a 1 or a 2 on a sense motive check.
It was a natural 1.
And I thought that it was a failure because, failure is in combat. I assumed failure in there. I was like, oh, well, I guess I just farted.
I mean, it was a failure, but you doomed yourself.
And I did it to myself. And that was the exact moment in time where I doomed my super serious edgelord rogue into the party butt of all the jokes.
Stinkman.
I still hate you to this day. He wasn't the Stinkman. and then he suddenly had gastrointestinal
And then
issues.
it went past Owen into Farron real because it's called Farron Fart.
Okay.
I hate everyone and everything, and Owen is an extension of my inner turmoil.
Owen was taking a planned leave of
actually
absence
crying.
for Kat to play her new character, Farronrill, which was an elven ranger.
And I was trying to build a serious character after having had my boy turned into a joke.
I didn't want to say the name Farronrill, so I just called her Farronfart. And
I tried so hard.
Every time I would say Farronfart, you'd correct me. Right up until the point in time where you were talking about her and you said Farronfart.
The first time you introduced her in the game.
Oh, I got another funny one that involves Farronrill.
It's really funny thinking about Owen because Owen at the beginning was just your typical rogue, the sit in the corner, all
And
brooding and
brood.
mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to somebody a week or so ago about, stuff. I was like, oh yeah, one of my players had your typical edgelord brooding rogue. And I thought, I was like, but don't worry, he went to therapy and got better. And
He
moved
did,
on.
though.
And yes, he literally did. So
Part of what makes the fart story with Owen, a lot of our jokes, a lot of our funniest tabletop moments are involved farting.
We're just middle schoolers, y'all.
But part of what made
heart.
that so funny is we had just finished a really long haul session with a lot of combat.
A
Yeah.
very intense one too.
So we were negotiating with this captured NPC at the end, and it's
And it was not negotiating.
it was
My
interrogating.
character was ready to kill her.
Yeah.
because
Didn't
she
Owen's
was,
fart
Yes.
save her life?
Yes.
I remember because I don't know how long you guys had been writing our stories afterwards, but you specifically wrote that part in about how Owen had a bubble in his gut.
yeah.
And just, it was, you sent me
Focus
the,
too
blushing
hard
right
at
now.
scrutinizing.
It was midnight when we were doing it too. It was so late.
yes, it was because that was at the point in time we played for 12 hours
Yeah.
straight.
Oh God.
Yeah. So we were
This
exhausted.
was right at the end.
and that fart comes and it just the dams
sent
break
us.
loose. Yeah. Oh man.
There had been no humorous release at that point.
No.
Because
There was
before
release.
that, there was there
Release
were
of gas.
spiders and there was a dead kid.
It was the beginning of the end for Owen.
But yeah.
I regret my life choices.
I've got two funny moments when I think of it, so I'll try to keep them both brief. The first, they both of them involve friend of the show, Micah.
I know it.
And just how Micah and I will interact sometimes when we
Yeah.
play. The first time I was playing my dumb barbarian, Konar the barbarian, who had 7 for all of his mental stats. And I believe one of our party members asked Silas, the gunslinger, Micah's character, how his gun worked. And, he wouldn't, he started talking technical and doing a good job of it. And my barbarian was like, so what you mean? Is you put paper and then sand into gun and then there's explosion. it's not that hard to understand. It's super easy. And he kind of just said this over and over until Silas shot my character. But my character, Konar had DR.
Damage resistance.
And Micah rolled so low for his damage that this bullet bounced off of Konar and did 0 damage.
And didn't you say something really condescending to him?
It was like it was broken or something.
Yes, I wish I could remember it, but it it was a perfect setup. Just an idiot acting like they're smart, getting punished for it, and nothing happened, proving them right in the end. And it was beautiful.
It was so Micah was actually angry.
actually angry.
He was laughing, but he was actually infuriated too.
It was hilarious. And then the second time, also involving Micah, I was DMing a game where they entered a town, and on their way in, they spoke to a farmer by the name of. Hold on, let me pull this up.
You have the whole thing.
I have the family tree. Hold on, because I saved it not too long ago, because this came up in conversation not too long back. I believe the one that he spoke to was Brother Farmer? Or was it Cousin Farmer?
Wasn't it Weaver Farmer?
No. Weaver Farmer was one I added on to later. It was he either spoke to Cousin Farmer.
I think it was Cousin Farmer.
Or brother. I think it was either him or Brother Farmer. But anyway, he meets this character, and their name, we're just going to choose one, Cousin Farmer. And Micah was just like, no, hold on, no. Do you mean your name is Cousin and you are a farmer? Or are you... And we went into this for what? Half an hour?
Wasn't Cousin
Over
Farmer
half an hour.
like the innkeeper or something?
No, Cousin Farmer was a farmer. No, Brother Farmer was a farm. I'm confusing myself. This has been so long. The one he spoke to was indeed a farmer. He also had a brother named Innkeep Farmer, a sister named Banker Farmer, and a sister named Pharmacy Farmer. But the banker was not a banker, and Pharmacy Farmer did not work in the pharmacy. I believe...
So this whole thing went on.
Yes.
For like
at least
half an hour.
I built a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, a 14-person family tree off the top of my head because Micah's character would not leave it alone that this person's name was
Micah wouldn't leave it alone.
Cousin
This
Farmer.
was not his character.
It wasn't Tyre. It was just Micah.
This was Micah.
And it was beautiful.
And Derek started playing
Hall of the Mountain King
on repeat.
And it was like delving into insanity slowly but surely.
I remember dissociating myself and then coming back from that one.
I remember staring off into the distance while Hall of the Mountain King was playing, and Drow, Micah, and Jacob were all yelling over farmers.
Yeah, yep, and that's when I was like, yep, I'm done.
And like an hour had passed.
Let's scroll social
and it was
media.
Still happening.
And you were still arguing and coming up with more of the tree.
For so long. It was so dumb. But unfortunately, as a DM, if someone's going to call me out on something, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to build off of it.
All right.
You are the god of this world, not Micah.
Oh my God.
That's mine.
Drow, do you have a favorite funny moment in your tabletop career?
So this was whenever I was playing X.
Okay. My homebrew game then.
Yes. X, my rogue, who did not know anything about himself, but he had a treasure map tattooed on his back.
X could be described as, what is it? Amnesia, chaotic good rogue.
Yes. And I was trying to get Dane's character to join our party. So,
friend of the show, Dane.
Yes.
This.
X walks up to Dane's lady wizard and is like, hey, what are you drinking? Dane's character replies, oh, nothing right now. Can I buy you a beer? No, I don't drink. I'm not thirsty. No, I'm not thirsty. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm trying to set you up so you can play our fucking game with us.
It was ridiculous, but it was also really funny. There's a lot of moments. We haven't talked about Dane on the show very much by just sheer happenstance, but a friend of the show, Dane's has guested in a number of our games, and every time he does, he says something profoundly ridiculous or funny, and it sticks with us for a while.
Dana said a few wonderful things. He had just joined another one of our parties, the one with Owen and Brick.
Yeah.
And we were outside fighting.
We were playing...
He pops in, alerts the king, and is like, hey, they're out there killing your people.
We were fighting goblins, and he went to the king's room, the one room over, and be like, hey, they're killing your people. Because, to be fair, Brick was questionably killing goblin civilians at the time.
Yes, I was questionably killing
It was a
civilians.
dark time.
It was.
But didn't he also sit in the throne
Hilarious.
afterward?
He just
He
hung
did.
out.
Afterwards, he just hung out.
He checked out the chest that was in there, and then rather than popping out afterwards and helping, he just kind of waited there for you guys to duke it out.
And he also took a bunch of stuff for himself and then handed me a scroll because I was the only one that could use it. And I was like, wow, that's so thoughtful of you, because Brick did not know any better.
Yeah. Oh, Dane can be a really troll player sometimes. It is very funny.
There was also, whenever Derek's character, and Autumn, Dane's character, were out scouting about and they ran into a witch fire. The witch fire starts talking and Dane just goes, help! Help!
Was it a witch fire or?
No, that was the witch fire. That was the fight that Derek died.
Oh, that's right.
She did speak to you at first,
Yes.
man.
Yeah, Dane's got good instincts.
Dane does.
Help.
I decided to search farmer in the Discord, and I found Micah. I thought Weaver Farmer was a banker. No, Banker Farmer is a weaver. And I respond, Weaver Farmer is a child. Banker Farmer is a basket weaver.
You destroyed Micah's mental health for at least like a month after that. That's all he could think about was untangling that web you wove.
That
We've lost Jacob.
Banker farmer is a basket weaver. Weaver farmer is a child. No, banker farmer is a weaver. I thought that weaver farmer was a banker.
I am done.
Okay.
Are we all farmers now?
I will
bum 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 bum
the whole time.
On the other note, you brought up Autumn, which is Dane's character in Jacob's Homebrew Games. That's where Owen, Brick, and Dayrak are all in.
Yeah.
Every time he would show up, someone would either die or something horrible would happen.
Yep.
The last time he played Hawthorne with us was...
His character died.
Yeah, right before COVID.
He was commanded
Not
do
to kill
not
something.
kill that thing. And he complied, and
he died.
next turn died to it.
Yep.
He's a good sport.
He is.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to
we
Dane.
said his yeah,
He's
shout
not
out
that
to
great.
Dane. Jeez, man.
What a champ. Autumn also played with us in the wrestling match you did, Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
was
He
Bonesaw.
ate that one up.
Bonesaw.
That was good. That was
That
good.
was a good one.
So many good times.
You know, I think that my favorite part of that was the final strike where we had Derek in his, what was his name?
Big Bone.
In his Big Bone persona,
You asked
celebrating that he had just smacked somebody and Brick comes around and just thwaps him with a chair.
Oh, the wrestling campaign.
You all worked on your wrestling personas, and I was busy with work that week.
Yeah.
You asked me what I wanted Dayrak to be for his wrestling persona, and I just like stared blankly for a minute and be like, Big Bone.
He's got
He
a
has
big bone.
That's as good as it gets.
Bone, big bone, big bone, bone saw, bone saw. Okay, we got
Well, my other favorite moment from one of those games was centuries before the Starstone was raised. The Wizard Kings, Nex and Geb, warred with one another, scarring the land between them into a devastated, unstable magic wasteland.
Never mind.
Okay, whenever I did that, I was trying to make it so that I did not fuck something up. It was happening whether or not. Oh, why?
I don't know if I'm going to leave this in. Probably not.
Probably not.
I paused
you
because
guys.
Drow did the timeout symbol and burped. And then I resumed. And then Jacob did it immediately after I paused. And he leaned over to fart and didn't fart. From the glowing ashes of the Mana Wastes arose Alkenstar, the city of smog. A metropolis of airships, skyscrapers, factories, and clockwork wonders.
Oh, God. Keep it together, man.
To the world, Alkenstar is the pinnacle of innovation and determination. Jacob's left the table. face of insurmountable odds.
What are you doing?
On its streets, life in Alkenstar is a non-stop race to stay ahead of the competition. And it is here, I'm crying, that a desperate
Hi,
group,
crying.
hungry for revenge, living on the edge of the law, hunts for the ones who cast them out. He's getting water.
Okay.
They are the Outlaws of Alkenstar.
Micah's Angels.
Micah's Angel. That is the most disjointed opener I have ever done.
Second episode energy.
I can tell that we missed a week.
Yeah. So when we last left Micah's Angels, Micah's Farmers, man, that would have been a great party name.
Micah's Farmers.
Micah's Farmers.
You don't have to be lonely at micahsfarmer.com.
Bum 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 bum.
Oh, centuries before.
When we last left you guys, you had finally made it out of the East of All Brewery after yet another fight. You fought the Powderkeg Punks yet again, and this time you were able to get some loot off of them, as well as some interesting, paper trail items.
Yes.
You found a flyer for the Longhorn Lounge with some sort of phrase written on the back. Last bell before sunset. And you also found a order form for alchemical items with Gattlebee's address scratched in childish looking handwriting on it.
And it was stamped with a Corvid in flight and a vial in each hand.
A Corvid.
Corvid.
Corvid in flight with a vial in each hand.
You mean a giant frog monster?
That's
the COVID?
right.
The COVID
The
beast.
COVID Beast, season 2 jokes. You did safely make it back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. And before we get into all that goodness, you guys leveled up.
Yeah.
You leveled up. Also, in addition to level up, it is a episode divisible by 4, so all your hero points go back to 1.
There's no good way
I
to
only
say
had
that.
one anyway.
Yeah, there's no good way to say that. But yeah, you all leveled up. So why don't we go around the table and talk about what you got at this level? Anyone want to go first?
I do.
Go for it.
I have gotten the thing I've been waiting for since I discovered it was coming. Deny advantage.
Ooh.
Which allows me to not be flat-footed to any hidden, undetected, flanking creatures or those using surprise attack, so long as they are my level or lower.
Ooh.
I am looking so forward to this. You cannot do unto me that which I have done unto you.
It's really nice.
That is nice.
Would have been particularly useful against the gunners.
The
Yeah.
little roll through thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got that. I took the feat Incredible Initiative.
That's awesome.
So I could get better initiative.
Incredible.
If rolling stealth, I could,
Incredible.
put my enemies more flat-footed. And then I also took Wary Disarmament, so that if I disarm a trap and I break it, then I get a +2 circumstance bonus to my AC or my
Or your
reflex, whatever save it is,
Yeah.
in order to avoid the trap, which could have come in handy had I failed any traps at the
save.
Yeah.
at Gattlebee's place.
Luckily, Chester handled that one trap that went off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his
So it was
Yeah,
a
with his face.
My mean.
it was a pretty cool level for me.
It is pretty cool.
And my attack bonus is now higher and my AC is higher, and it just makes me happy.
Chester took one for the team. Williams.
I guess you could call me a rogue myself because I disarmed that trap with my body.
Yep.
Well, that's it for me.
I pooped in it.
I did not.
I peed in it.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I got a few things. I'm going to just flip to my page because it's a lot easier.
Whenever
Listen,
Jacob stops computing for a little bit, it is the funniest thing.
You can see it on his face when he pauses.
there we go. I got a pretty cool ability called Keen Recollection. Whenever I make a recall knowledge check for something I'm not trained in, I get to apply my level to it as a proficiency bonus, so that's nice.
That is nice.
I increased my society skill because, I'm a highfalutin somebody.
Highfalutin somebody of
He's
a
a high-
wood.
He's a
That's right.
highfalutin farmer.
And I got a couple of feats. One to increase my hauling capability, my
Carry weight.
carry weight, my bulk carry to not be heavy. And then another one was called Streetwise, which means I'm smart on my feet in the street.
It lets you roll society
Instead of diplomacy for gather
information.
Yeah.
And to also use recall knowledge at a higher DC, but I can get the same information quicker if I make the DC. Because gather knowledge information can take hours to even days.
Right.
Whereas recall knowledge is right then and there. I was going to slap the table, but that would have been really loud.
That would have been
That
rough.
So I
wouldn't have been
thought-
great.
That's a knee slapper.
That's a knee slapper.
Oh.
Yep.
Drow, anything cool for Psyche?
Nah.
I think you got some cool stuff.
So because I leveled up, got some new spells.
Yes.
I will reveal them as they are used
Dope.
for, audience interaction.
Used spells.
I will say, at this level, you did get second level spells, which is what
Yes.
makes it really spicy.
Oh, finally the second levels?
Yes.
How exciting.
Yes. I also got a feat called Continual Recovery, which means that I can do heal checks faster.
Yep. And
Takes 10 minutes.
and with that, you also went from trained to expert in medicine.
Oh, so your medicine bonus is higher now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also have the skill feat Risky Surgery, which means that I can deal a D8 of damage to a patient for +2 on the check.
I suppose it technically should balance out.
Yeah. Also, if like you're doing treat wounds to treat wounded,
Yeah.
you might just want to make the check instead of healing as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. One of the things about this game that the listeners may not be able to pick up on as we've done level ups is so this game has a proficiency system like your 5th edition, D&D 5th edition does. But in 5e, proficiency is this thing that lives like in a table at the front of the player's handbook, right? It starts out at +2, and then it goes up to, I think, +8 at the end. And in Pathfinder, proficiency is always going to be your level plus how proficient you are.
Yeah.
So you start out as untrained, which means you don't get anything. And then whenever at the beginning of character creation, you get trained in a skill, that means you add your proficiency, so your level, +2. Trained is +2. So at this level, at 3, a lot of the characters are starting to get expert, which is instead of +2, it's +4. So instead of level +2, it's level +4. Because 5e has the kind of bounded accuracy math where a DC that's hard at level 1 is still probably going to be kind of hard at level 20 because the numbers don't go up that high.
Yeah.
And Pathfinder, in the 1st edition game, like numbers scaled as you went up in level. But there's balance things because things scale at different rates, right?
Yeah.
Balance problems there. In 2nd edition, we has the system that I call the rolling window of math. So everything goes up as you get higher level, but what makes you good and not good is not just going up 1 because you leveled up 1. So if you're trained in your armor, like all of your ACs went up because you're trained in whatever armor. So you level up and your proficiency goes up. But if you go from trained to expert, suddenly you're a lot harder to hit unless something is really strong. And then it goes even higher. You can go up to legendary, which is +6. No, master is +6.
2, 4, 6.
And then
8.
legendary
Who
is
do we
+8.
appreciate?
Skills.
To pay the bills. Bills,
But yeah.
bills, bills, bills.
Bill.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye, the Pathfinder guy.
It's Dane.
It's
It's
just Dane.
Dane.
But yeah, fun aside about how the proficiency system works.
Dang, we're in a rare
No,
form.
that's how we do an aside. We went into it and we left it.
Yeah, we left. Oh boy. But yeah, now that the level up's out of the way and then the hero point thing is done, why don't we jump back into things? So you guys just got back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon with Gattlebee in tow. You make it back
bag.
safely. Gattlebee in tote bag of
In
holding.
tote.
Ah,
and my pet lizard between my ears.
Can you imagine
his pet lizard.
It's mine now.
the bag of holding you guys got is just one of those free tote bags, but it's a bag of holding.
Can it be a fanny pack?
Could it be an
No.
IKEA bag?
No, this bag of
Fanny
holding
pack
is
with the man's head poking out.
This is absolutely like an Alkenstar APR, Alkenstar Public Radio donation drive tote bag
Oh my god.
of holding.
Beautiful.
Anyway, you guys make it back there. You arrive back at the Barrel and Bullet Saloon. The bouncer greets you there. You've seen them and they've seen you a couple times now, especially that you've been hanging out there.
Is Goblin?
It's this catfolk named Urshap. She gives a nod to all of you coming in, and you go in. You see Dunsmith at the bar, and you head towards the one of the meeting rooms that you've used before. You sit down back there, close the door, and then she comes in a little bit later. What do you say?
Hi.
Well, hi there.
We let Gattlebee poke out of the bag.
Yeah, we just dump the back upside down so he falls out.
Gattlebee falls out. He's dead. He hasn't had air in like 3 hours.
Uh-oh.
I gave him a straw.
I am keeping the lizard.
Well, I guess Slick is mine now.
Oh no. What a shame.
Oh no. How terrible.
All according to the plan.
Gattlebee crawls out of the bag and says, "Oh, we're finally done. Woo, this is a nice bar."
Hey,
And
you'll be safe here.
Dunsmith said, "Nice to meet you, Gattlebee. I won't arrange for your escape. Why don't you have a seat and I can get you something to eat?" It's like, "Oh, I don't need anything to drink. I'll show you that much. I've had several bottles of whiskey in the bag." They clink out with them, the ones that you dropped in there. But
I
not
did
the nice
not
one.
know that you are a functioning alcoholic.
He waves his hand.
Never
I
meet your
mean-
heroes, huh?
You did see this man explode
Listen,
a chest, right?
Explosions are not the same as drunkenness.
I don't know. I'm just saying that it seems to me this man is not the paragon of good decisions.
I never said it's Paragon of Good.
He
It takes
says-
a certain drunken kind of crazy to create a thing like that.
listen, today was an indulgence. I've been attacked and stuck in a bag. Normally,
Oh.
What do you mean you've been attacked?
well, they're coming after me too, aren't they?
Are you the one who got stabbed? Shot?
No,
Stung?
but it was traumatizing.
What part?
All right.
You
Okay.
didn't even see any of it.
Shooting noises
for
scare me. Bad types of
except for
explosions.
whenever you were walking into another room as your lizard the size of a horse accosted us.
Listen, Slick has the things he likes, okay? Sometimes he likes the growth serum, and it's not the first time, and he calms down eventually.
Chester will turn to Dunsmith. As you can tell, we've had an eventful day today.
Yes.
Sounds like it. Jeez, what's happened?
We've also killed a large selection of the Powderkeg.
Yes,
Punks.
see, this is exactly what happened, and we tell her exactly what happened.
Yes.
Powderkeg Punks, huh? Mm-hmm. And she looks around kind of concerned.
Well, here's the thing. The Powderkeg Punks, we expected some issues with Loveless and Muglin, right? But the Powderkeg Punks weren't from them, and they were one of our biggest obstacles. They had nothing to do. As far as I can tell from my research, my investigations, the Powderkeg Punks, they got nothing to do with Muglin, but we were attacked by somebody who did know Loveless.
Who was that? Do you know?
Did he say his name?
He announced
He
his
did announce his
Yeah,
name.
he did.
One, Daystar?
Dewey, eh?
A sentient cactus man.
Yeah, Dewey's a wild card with chip on his shoulder, and it only makes sense that he'd work for Loveless.
Well, he is now
Wait.
a few pieces.
Well, but
Well, good.
what do you mean it only makes sense he'd work for Loveless? Because he directly went against Loveless's command. He
Or
was
so
gonna-
it seemed.
Yeah, he was going to kill Gattlebee, but when he wrote a letter for her, he called it an unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
I tell you what, nothing accidental about what he was trying to do.
Dewey Daystar has carried a chip on his shoulder against all the technologicalness of this city and the crime against nature that it is. So he may have taken the job for Dunsmith to go just kill Gattlebee. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I know. Just wants to. If Gattlebee's in the headlines, you stop that.
I love the role playstarbation here.
Shut up. If Gattlebee's in the headlines with these inventions, then he's a target for Daystar, and getting paid for it, which only makes the deal sweeter.
Well, he's dead now, so no worries there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. But you said Powderkeg Punks,
How
huh?
dare they stand in the way of innovation and technology?
I know. Stupid cactus people.
That sounds a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, whenever you guys like mention Powderkeg Punks, kind of gets this look of concern, maybe a little bit of confusion as well. She says, even Muglin's not desperate enough to work with someone like that. And those fire starters would sooner blow themselves to smithereens than work for the shield marshals. So
They did.
Very good at
A
it.
lot of them.
yeah,
did.
so you have personal experience then.
Yeah, they blew themselves up quite a bit.
Yes.
Just like hour ago.
You see these burnt spots on my clothes?
They try to blow us up too, but
That checks out.
a lot worse at blowing us up than themselves.
Well, that leaves us with quite a quandary, though. Who had exactly hired these rascals?
What do you think they were hired, or were they just doing it by themselves?
I don't know. But
Were they smart enough to just go on their own?
Could I do a check to see if they were are they so unhinged that nobody would hire them? Or could I do a check to see if like people do hire them out for a bit?
Sure. Do you want to roll Underworld lore again or Society?
Which one? I could do either or.
I prefer Underworld.
All right. Underworld lore. It's +9. 16.
Total?
Not great, I know, but lore tends to be a bit easier, if I remember correctly, than knowledge is.
Yeah, I'll let you have it for that.
Yeah.
You would know that they do get hired out for jobs, but it's either people who are like desperate and can't afford more clean work, or people who want to make a mess. So they definitely get hired out for stuff.
Okay.
They do stuff on their own, but you couldn't be certain whether they just heard about Pyronite and wanted it for themselves, or if someone hired them out. It could have been either way.
I will say this. Either they or whoever they were working for knew about Gattlebee wanting to go to the brewery, because that's where they called us. It was in between those two.
And waited for us outside.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it too, they could have come after the formula for the Pyronite themselves, but because they do like blowing things up. But with the brewery, this honestly, it just seems like too big a play for them to make on their own. Too organized, too intentional, which usually means that someone is hiring them or directing them, because the punks usually just focus on casual arson and snorting gunpowder. That's how they
That
get
is
their
why they
kicks.
imploded.
That makes sense now.
Yep. And she kind of just sits down and gets lost in thought for like a minute or two.
We also found some things that I find a little bit confusing, unless I could have done a knowledge check on that symbol on the paper.
The Corvid?
The Corvid.
You can. You want to do one?
Yeah, what
What's
would that
the
be?
lore?
I could do Society, Underworld, Crafting.
I have Alkenstar lore, if that would mean anything.
Yeah, I'll take Alkenstar lore. I'll take Society. I'll take, for you, Chester, I would actually take Crafting.
Oh, I got a natty 17.
18.
18?
22.
22. Yeah, both of you are fairly certain that this order form is for a place. Chester, you've actually probably been there before. It's like an apothecary near the Blythier College campus called Rika's Reagents.
Ah.
And the business sign there features a flying corvid grasping vials of liquid. You may have even been there before, Chester. But yeah, both of you are able to kind of place that. So after a little bit of time, Dunsmith just like puts hands on her like face and like scrunches her eyes or scrunches her face up a little bit, and she's like, "Damn it! Okay, it looks like I'm gonna need to hire you out one more time. Big payout, no holds barred."
Well, first, do we get a payout from this?
Yeah, of course. What did we say that was again? It's been a month.
Let's see.
50 gold apiece.
Hey.
And I was going to treat it as a party of four, so 50 gold apiece.
And then 50 for the party.
Yeah, for the pool.
For the pool.
So can we go ahead and add that to our monies?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and take that. But yeah, she says, I need you to track down the punks and see who prodded them into going after Gattlebee. Yeah, they kind of suck. Find out who hired them and why. You get to the bottom of it and stop them. And there's a purse of gold in it for each of you. All right?
How, just for inventory's sake, how much gold?
for future Jacob's self.
Just for planning, you know. I like to plan.
70.
Cool.
70 GP a piece. Same deal as before. One for the party pool. But yeah, this Pyro Night thing is a whole powder keg unto itself. And if the punks are also after this, it means there's another player in this game, and we need to know who that is. Even if it is just them at the end of things. But it sounds way too organized to just be them.
Yeah, they didn't seem like the kind of people that think things through.
No, people who snort gunpowder usually aren't.
I didn't think they could think further
They
than
were
they
seeking
threw.
us out intentionally, though. So it was not just
Chaos.
violence for the sake of violence.
But yeah, do you guys have any extra questions for Dunsmith?
Who all have you told about our excursions?
Oh, no one, except for Duchess. I'm working directly under her.
Duchess is the league. We have to kill the Duchess.
Kill the Duchess.
Kill the Duchess.
Kill the president.
Kill John Lennon. Kill the Duchess.
I appreciate that there was a fart in there as well.
Hey, listen, leave my gas out of this.
No.
It's been enough of this.
No, I'm sorry. You've done this to yourself. Okay, blame your mother, not me.
I'll have you know, clever remark.
Ah, lovely.
I couldn't think of one myself, so I'll just fill it in later. Listen, fix that and edit
Add it, post-edit.
Okay,
I'll
just
have you
send
know.
him in one.
Do you, because we didn't recognize the symbol, the stamp, right? We recognize the order form.
The stamp is
the symbol.
Is the symbol from the.
Oh, okay. It was just an empty order form from that place?
It was like, have you ever been to a restaurant that gives you, especially like if it's fast food-ish or to go, they'll give you like a paper menu you fill out and submit to them.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like that, except ordering alchemical stuff. So
Oh, but you said the order form was empty.
there hasn't no requests or items have been written on it, just Gattlebee's address.
Okay.
Used it like a napkin to write on.
Yeah.
I have a question because I was not paying attention. Did we talk about, the last bell or
Not
last
yet.
ring? Okay.
Yeah, you haven't asked about there was that phrase written on the back of the flyer for a place called the Longhorn Lounge. You haven't done any digging on that yet. no.
Okay.
Yeah, so is there anything else you have for her, or you... she basically wants you to dig into who's responsible for this. She doesn't have any leads for you. She's just really kind of concerned because she thought she knew all the players in this game, and there seems to be another one that she doesn't know about.
I have a question for you,
Yeah.
Phoebe.
Yes, you got a question for me?
That's the wrong voice.
Phoebe
I thought you said Gattlebee. I didn't hear you. Yeah, what do you need to know?
We got this, and I show her the flyer. Do you know anything about the owner of that place? Is there any
Longhorn
connection?
Lounge.
The Longhorn Lounge. Is there anything you know? Who would be there associating with the Powderkeg Punks? What do you know about the Reapers?
She says, I honestly can't place the two together. If I'm being honest with you, you're going to have to do digging on this because I have no idea. What I do know is the Longhorn Lounge is a kind of upscale-ish rodeo lounge deal in Skyside. I have no idea why the Powderkeg Punks would even be near there with as crazy and unhinged as they are. There's no way they'd be allowed in, so why they're connected to it in some way or another, it could be coincidence, but
Maybe they're benefactors from there.
I have no idea. That's a thread you guys are going to have to pull, I imagine.
Well, good
I
talk.
bet Chester's mighty good at pulling threads.
I don't know how to sew, if that's what you're saying. Actually, I am pretty good at sewing.
It's like
I'll
I
see
got
what
a
I can
glimpse
pull.
of your study board with all the red wire.
Hey,
You could weave a blanket on that thing.
I am
could.
uncomfortable with the amount of sexual tension in here right now.
what?
What?
That was not intentional, says Kat.
Zach, here, you got some kind of weird thing going on we don't know about?
Well, Gattlebee, I got a spot
I mean,
for you.
you
set
heard
up.
him.
Don't think I did.
Phoebe stands up and be like, yeah, Gattlebee, I got a spot for you set up. I got a lab and also a bed and room for you. And of course, y'all three are welcome to stay here as long as you need as well.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh my God.
It's because
Wow.
he's seen something in my room. Oh.
No, I just imagine it would have happened as like you open the door or something.
Yeah.
Alonzo's an observant dude.
I get it.
That is such a stretch.
Lou, I'm sorry, but it went right over my
That
head.
is such a stretch.
Here I
Okay,
am
it's just.
trying-
How was I expecting that?
You guys are ridiculous. Alonzo comes in and catches Chester pulling his little vampire.
No!
No, stop! Stop!
I hate y'all.
Woo! There's a minute, Williams.
Don't come in. I'm investigating.
I'm following
I
a
hate
lead.
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And I'm done here.
I think I'm real close to cracking this one wide open. Woo! This is why we had ours surgically removed. It's just a light switch.
Is the flesh weak?
You turn me around.
Wow. Speaking of things that grind the session to a halt. All right, so what are you guys going to do?
So are we, is this expected to happen soon? Or what? Do we have time to invest?
Do we
This
have
is-
a time frame?
Yeah, that's the question, because this is a lot more vague than the other things.
This is an open investigation, so it's going to be up to you guys. I'll just go ahead and tell you straight up. What you're probably going to need to do is gather information.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll help point you in the right place. You can obviously, because you're coming back to this place at the end of the day, take a night's rest if you need. But I think Dunsmith is kind of freaked out about this and wants you guys to move on this, and not. This isn't a oh, you have downtime, you should work on this when you feel like it. This is a work on this when
Now.
you can. You could take some time to rest, but work on this when you can.
I don't care how injured you are. You get out there and you find me information. Okay.
Hit the streets, knock on doors, ask questions,
God, are we
Hit
trying
the
to get
doors,
hired?
Knock on streets.
submit your resume with a cover letter.
Admittedly, this is also Chester's domain,
Yeah, that right.
as it is an investigation.
All right, so we'll rest that night, have a good drink. We should do shopping the next day, though,
Okay.
because shopping does actually take like a whole day. I can even go ahead and tell you how much money we'll make shopping. We're going to sell the jug of whiskey, the Sterling Artisan's tools for brewing. We actually got an expended alchemist kit that we're just going to keep.
Yeah.
And we're also going to sell the wand of chilling spray because we cannot use it.
Right.
Wands are dumb. It's just my opinion. It's the right one, but wands are dumb. Except the ones that we can use. They're fantastic. So what we'll end up doing is if we sell those, the jug of whiskey for full and everything else for half, basically, right? The Sterling set you said we could sell for full. No, that sells for half. The only thing for full is the jug.
The jug of whiskey. Yes.
We're going to make 71 gold in total from it. If we divide that 4 ways for the party pool, everybody gets 17 3/4 gold. That's 17 gold and 8 silver pieces.
Sure.
Give me that extra silver.
So much money.
Yeah, you guys could actually probably get some upgrade runes now if you wanted to.
You right. Oh, you right. Maybe. I actually don't know their cost, so you may be wrong. I don't know. We're probably going to need to handle that off screen.
Yeah, we can handle, if you want to, the
Shop, the buying.
the buying of equipment off screen, because that takes a while to look through stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically in between episodes we can handle that, and if you have things that are more relevant all of a sudden, it's because you bought them then.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so you're going to take some time to shop. Is that a whole day of time?
I believe that is what the rules claim, yes.
All right, that'll be fine.
We need tools to further our mission.
Well, I'll say that'll take most of the day, and then the evening of the day, if you want to do some gathering information when people are out drinking, you can do that as well. Because I think if my tracking calendar is correct, it is now like Star Day, which is Saturday.
Oh, it's time
people
for
will be
everyone to come drink.
drinking. So, yes, I will start investigating. Chester, first, what Chester would want to do is...
Devise a stratagem.
And Chester devised stratagem. Williams would love to devise a stratagem for
Yeah,
investigating
it's
this.
been a little while, hasn't it?
I'm sorry. Every time you say Chester wants to, I just think devise a stratagem, because every single combat round starts with Chester's going to devise a stratagem.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you how to play your game.
Actually, you do quite often.
You do.
You know what? I'll tell you how to... I give advice. You can do whatever you want. But Chester will, I guess, since he's got the underworld...
Underwear?
Since
Underworld
he has
lore.
the underworld lore, his first bet might be going along to some of the sketchier places and like talking to some of the gangs and seeing what he could find out about the Powderkeg Punks.
All right. Yeah. So you're going to go to maybe some of the seedier bars and maybe either Ironside Quarter or Ferris Quarter. Make me a gather information check. Now you have that feat you just got streetwise, so you can use society to make the gather information check instead of diplomacy.
Yes. Yeah, I could do... Well, here's the thing, because do you want me to do underworld lore or society?
If you were going to recall knowledge, that would be underworld lore.
Oh,
but you've
this
already
is
done
finding
that.
out new stuff.
This is you going to places and talking to people or sitting around and listening.
Yes, I would like to use Streetwise to roll my society for gather knowledge.
Okay.
That is a natural 20.
Whoa.
Plus 11.
What a time to
is
get one.
31.
Okay.
Dang.
So
Stay right there.
because that's a critical success, I'll give you two things instead of one. One conversation you're having in Ferris Quarter, maybe even at the Barrel and Bullet Saloon, you catch one of the patrons and ask him, "Hey, you ever heard about like Powderkeg Punks or whatever?" He says, "Those Powderkeg people? I hear they were trying to break into the Longhorn Lounge up in Skyside about a week ago. They brought some sort of monkey with clockwork limbs.
The monkey goblin.
Monkey Goblin.
Shield marshals forced them back to Smokeside. Good riddance." And as part of this, you also find out like exactly where in Skyside the Longhorn Lounge is, like an address that you could go to.
Is that the second piece of information?
No, that's the first. And then because you got a critical success, you're at another bar in Ironside Quarter. You find this this lady who's drinking, and you've been asking around about like Powderkeg Punks. You've been asking about if people know where like maybe Rika's reagents are to like fish for information and everything.
I know where Rika's reagents are.
Yeah, but you're also just trying to dig up information, right? And you find this lady. She says, "Oh my gods, my brother's friend knows this girl who has this roommate who goes to school at Blythier College. They said they saw those punk people lighting things on fire and shooting bottles near the apothecary. They could have burned down the whole place, you know."
Oh my god.
So basically, the Powderkeg Punks are hanging out near the apothecary.
They've been near the apothecary at some point in time recently, yeah. But yeah, good job on the natural 20. So if either of you, Alonzo or Saikir, also want to do gather information, it is a diplomacy check.
I will attempt.
Can I attempt as well?
So Chester was going for the seedier places. Is there any sort of like general target that you want to talk to people? You can like canvas markets. So I technically would allow this during your selling stuff as well.
Okay.
Taverns and any sort of like public gathering places. Both of you can attempt it. Just tell me like where you want to do it.
As an artisan myself, I want to like canvas the local markets and the like.
Okay. And Saikir, where are you thinking about going?
I want to see if there's like a healer.
A healer?
Yes. To see if I can speak to victims.
Okay. Both make your checks.
Also, a healer you could maybe find a healer who might treat the Powderkeg Punks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they burn themselves so much.
Yeah, I probably don't have to figure out anything out with my 11.
23.
11's not going to do it, but a
Didn't
23.
think so.
You actually do find a healer, like a little dock in the
Wait,
box.
is that diplomacy?
Yeah.
24.
Oh, that's a critical success as well.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so you find a little talk in the box in Ferris Quarter, and she says, "Oh, hey, don't the Powderkeg Punks run the Hotfoot Hippodrome? It's some dance place in Smokeside near Hellside. I've never been there, but I hear them talking about it when they come in here to get the blown limbs and whatnot cleaned up.
Runs the what?
It's a place called the Hotfoot Hippodrome. I hear the music's good, lots of classic local goblin tunes, but the brawls break out there all the time. Too rough for my tastes." And as part of that, you also discover, with Chester, the exact location of the Hotfoot Hippodrome. So to recap, so far you've picked up that the Powderkeg Punks were trying to break into the Longhorn Lounge, or at least were around that area, and someone specifically cited a monkey with clockwork limbs. You also know that someone saw them causing trouble at a place called Riker's Reagents near the Blythier College. And supposedly they run, or maybe used to run, a place called the Hotfoot Hippodrome in Smokeside.
Okay.
And it's about 24 hours after you got back to the Barrel and Bullet Saloon now.
So Alonzo goes back and has a beer. He didn't learn anything. He's a little sad.
So Psyche criticaled,
Yep.
and by doing that, found out about the Hippodrome and the address.
Yes.
Okay.
Rather, the Hippodrome was all one piece of information, and if I had an extra one, I would have given it to you.
Oh, hippodrome is an actual word.
Yep.
What is a hippodrome? Ancient Greek stadium for horse racing and chariot racing?
Oh, no.
Oh, that sounds
Are we
fascinating.
going to get the race horseless dirigibles?
To be fair, in the same sentence, the lady described it as a dance place.
So dancing horses?
Sure, why not? How do they draw the dirigibles if they can't dance, Dad?
They need the beat in order to do those mad sketching.
They're like the sports people who learn ballerina to do better at sport.
Basically.
Yep. Those sports people who learn ballerina to do better at
I'm
sports.
sorry, but that statement is accurate because many sport people do it.
You mean the sports players who learn ballet to improve in their sports?
Listen,
I meant exactly what I
why
said.
use many word when few word do tricks?
Exact. Okay, so what, we gather back together at the bar to talk, and Chester will be like, well, yeah, look at it. We got like 3 things we can do. We could go to the lounge, because now it seems like they're going after the lounge. Maybe we could find out something from the people at the lounge and learn from them. We could go to the apothecary, see if they know about the Powderkeg Punks, Powerpuff Girls. And I mean, I suppose obviously we could just go to the Hippodrome and kick some butt and take some names. I think the easiest one might be the apothecary, because
I'd agree.
they were making trouble near there.
Have we completely missed the opportunity to meet them at the last ding?
Meet who?
At the Longhorn what's it?
The Longhorn Lounge?
Yeah.
The bell. I imagine we'd find out about the bell if we went to the Longhorn Lounge. So, group decision time. Nice long
Apothecary.
pause. Apothecary first? Is that what we're thinking?
Let's
All
take
right.
the easy route, work our way up.
All right. Chester will pull out a shotgun, cock it. Let's go visit the apothecary.
All right, so
I'll have a shotgun.
Alonzo takes his thieves' tools, shines them. I need to buy new thieves' tools.
Not to say you should buy
Can
some
I do that?
lockpicks.
Can I go ahead
yeah.
and buy new thieves' tools, even though?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and do it. So I'll go ahead and take us to the next morning, I
I
assume.
wonder if I will know this person.
I've been there before. The person who runs it seems like a nice person. Because Jacob doesn't know who the person who runs it is, or if they seem like a nice person. Just like, shop face, polite to the customer,
Maybe.
old man, rude.
You would know it was run by a Tengu lady named Micah.
Yeah, Rika seems pretty cool. Unless she's rude, then she's not cool.
My God, Jacob.
Assumptions are dangerous. I can't do this. Alonzo, Chester knows I don't.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I'm having a hard time.
You make your way over to Rika's reagents, and you do see the familiar symbol with the corvid, not to be confused with COVID.
Oh, see, I made that
Having-
mistake.
Bird.
2 vials, 1 in each talon. And Chester, yeah, you've been here before. You walk in and you see Rika, and she looks like this. I have some art.
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 Is it just a little bird lady?
Art.
I love her.
Oh,
She has a
Love
feather
that.
ponytail.
she has beak piercings.
Adore that.
And she says, "Greetings. Welcome to Rika's reagents. Let me know if you need anything. Feel free to take an order form if there's items that you want." She's like behind a counter.
Hi there, Rika. I ain't been here in a hot minute. How you been?
Oh, I am well. You are...
Oh, my name's Chester.
Chester.
From the academy. Oh, look, I don't expect you to remember me. I know you get a lot of students coming through here. Don't feel bad or nothing.
He starts to cry.
I thought you knew me. No,
Pat.
was special.
I have to walk out real quick.
Chester, I ain't Special Williams.
I was special. No, hey, Rika, I got something to ask you. I've been hearing rumors lately that going around here, there's some like punks making some trouble around here. Some kind of a gang called the Powderkeg Punks. Is this ringing any bells with you?
She says, you mentioned the Powderkeg Punks directly.
Yes.
She says, those hoodlums were around here about a week ago, loitering outside, lighting things on fire, as they do. A couple of them came in here and purchased some alchemist fire and then threw it right in the middle of the street. Just right out there.
That sounds about right.
Almost burned down a few houses. As they do. Is there something going on with them?
Did they talk to you like more than just buying stuff, make any casual conversation with you?
No, not really. They looked around, and as you like see in this shop, so you see like the order forms that one of them took.
Yeah.
But you can also see like order forms that hang up like to go. And you maybe think that if Gattlebee had ordered stuff from here,
Then they would have got the address from there. Mm-hmm. Well, you saved me a lot of trouble. I was about to ask some nonsensical questions, but all right.
it's just one of those things that like I understand. If you were in this situation looking for clues, you would notice.
Yeah.
In fact, like you see a couple of them. You don't see anything with Gattlebee's name, but you can see a couple different people like hanging up.
Anybody in particular?
I mean, I don't think you recognize any of the names.
Anything for Phoebe Dunsmith?
Do you want to write them all down?
Actually, yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to say, just jump in here as the DM, and instead of me generating a bunch of names off of Fantasy Name Generator, you could just say Chester writes these names down.
Yeah.
And as you look around, you don't see current real evidence of damage in the shop, but you can see a few burn spots like outside. The punks were definitely here. A goblin-shaped hole in the ground.
Did it get pulled all the way down to hell?
No, it just jumped. It's cartoon physics, jumped off a building.
Chester will do that kind of like nondescriptly. He's not going to make a big deal of it because I'm sure her seeing that would not be great. And maybe he'll do some shopping here and whatnot. But then before he leaves, he'll be like, "Hey, Rika,
Yes.
you ever thought that maybe hanging up names and addresses of people where the customers could see them might lead to an invasion of privacy?"
Well, I don't know why clientele would be so keen on to read other people's information.
Just thinking, you did have a gang in here fairly recently, and people with money shop here. I'm just like, you might want to think about that, because some people might like come at you and sue you, be like, "Hey, you gave my address to a gang.
Less savory
now my house is burnt
characters.
down." And just maybe don't leave personal information hanging up where everybody can see it.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh no!
Can I
don't
aid?
don't tell me to.
Sure, if you want to say something.
Can I do this specifically myself? because I want to mention the fact that we planted a crime scene in Gattlebee's house.
You want to tell her about that? You know where Gattlebee is?
No.
There was a murder.
Yeah, that's the kind
Okay.
of thing that I was going to be like.
Do you want to make a separate diplomacy check with that then?
Yes.
Okay, so should I do mine first then?
Go ahead, if you want to. What are you going to say, Psyche?
Especially given the recent events with Gattlebee.
What recent events?
Oh, you didn't hear? He was murdered in his home.
Murdered? What happened? I've heard the Pyronite thing and people were kind of looking for him. How do you think this had something to do with that? Make a diplomacy check. If that's what you're looking to roll.
I got a 17 when I rolled mine, if that helps.
17?
Yeah.
That's a natural 20. 29.
29?
Yes.
Oh, she puts 2 and 2 together and says, okay, you sure he was murdered? Not just, because he does a lot of exploding things. It looks like he might get hurt, but he kind of comes out of it okay.
He was very dead. I was investigating it and heard some pretty nasty things about what they found in there. Blood, like soot. They say that he kind of like...
I guess technically this
exploded.
should be a deception check at this point, but we've already rolled dice.
My deception is the same modifier.
There we go. She says, that's awful. I mean, he was the brilliant man. Thanks for letting me know. I need to think about this. And as you leave the shop, you can see her looking at the name forms and starting to put 2 and 2 together.
Slowly
pull them
pulling
down.
just like 1,000-yard stare.
Pulling down.
Do you think we should charge for a consulting fee?
I think that she is going to be paying for therapy.
She's going to think she killed him. Oh, poor Rika. It's a bit thoughtless what she was doing, but yeah.
That is, she very well could have. We have good reason to believe that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Aren't we a bundle of joy?
hey, we're just helping people any way we can.
So that's one kind of lead down. You can see where they probably got Gattlebee's address from that.
Yeah.
Your other 2 leads are the Hotfoot Hippodrome and then the Longhorn Lounge. And the only other piece of information is you have the names of people who had put orders in.
But that'll only help us if we find a name while we're doing stuff.
Right.
Well, the Hippodrome, dang it, the Hippodrome, I bet you we go there's going to be a fight.
It's still daytime, right?
Yeah, I think we should go to the Longhorn Lounge next.
Let's work our way up, like I said.
Now, is this lounge the kind of place that would be open during the day, or is it like a club, or what?
A club.
So you know from your gather information,
Do we need to bring glow sticks?
you know from your information that it is a kind of up and to do club membership ordeal. It's an extravagant lounge intended solely for rodeo champions, their patrons, and their guests.
I have a question.
Yes?
Do I know anybody who may have gone there? Do I know any local celebrities?
Alkenstar Dimmadome.
Alkenstar lore? Can I roll
I
that?
was about to say, that's the kind of place you'd find the techs and oil owners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With the
And
bolo
the
ties.
cowboys. Yeah.
Doug Dimmadome!
You might know people who probably have access to there, but do you know them well enough to where they would let you in as a guest? Maybe not. One thing that Chester knows from his critical success is that if you wanted to get in, you're going to have to dress up for one.
Yeah, I was thinking that I just used the head of disguise.
You could try that. That would be one way to do it.
Unless we're there for more than an hour.
Yeah.
However, any character can simply earn membership to the lounge fair and square by entering in one of the weekly rodeo competitions.
None of us are strong enough.
I have pretty decent athletics.
Would you tell me the mechanics behind bull riding beforehand?
It's not that hard.
Okay, but
It's going to boil down to athletics or nature checks.
unless I can
Devise a stratagem.
devise a stratagem. My athletics is not very good.
Chester devises a stratagem, and the stratagem just says, don't.
Yeah.
I mean, my athletics is plus... Well, my acrobatic... Oh, it's athletics?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yes, exactly.
That's not the only way to get in. There's more than one way to get in. There's actually a number of ways.
Don't worry, you won't need nature. How many times have we had to roll nature and this player's guide said we wouldn't need nature?
Listen, there's always a bunch of different things you can do. You just
Yes,
have
I
none
know.
of them, and nature happens to be on the list too.
I know. See, yeah, my athletics is 5, but with like my devise a stratagem, it's 9, which is a big difference.
Can I roll acrobatics instead?
No, it's be athletics or nature if you want to be a rodeo.
So
rider.
we have to look fancy. Or we ride a bull and win, right?
Yeah. Or you. So I'll go through the list here because there's a lot. And this is mostly because of your crit success. You can request a standing member bring you in as guests.
Okay.
That would require a diplomacy check.
Maybe I could see if I've worked with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I've healed one of the rodeo stars in the past.
Oh, that would be a good one.
You could also try deception at a lesser DC to impersonate an existing member.
I could try that.
Okay.
I got a decent deception.
You can try to forge a membership pass with crafting or society.
Oh, not thievery.
Crafting or society?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Your boy!
Yeah, boy.
You can also attempt to use stealth or thievery to sneak in the back door.
Now that I could do.
A fun fact, this doesn't apply to any of you guys, but just to throw a fun bone. If any member of the party has the Dandy Dedication Archetype feat from Advanced Player's Guide, their sheer command of etiquette is enough for them to talk their way past the door guards. No check necessary.
Love it.
It's wonderful. I love that.
And then, the winning a rodeo competition is the last way in.
All right, I have a plus 11 to both crafting and society.
Stealth and thievery.
My thought is that if we make a forgery, we wouldn't have to worry about getting caught while we're in there. One, that's only to get past the door, right? The guard. Because once we're inside as long as we can look the part.
Well, so that's just getting inside.
Yeah.
You're looking for information about the punks. So once you're in, you're going to have to gather information inside. But that's just to get into the place.
Okay, all right. So, sneak in. Okay, so if we sneak in, do we all have to do the roll?
It's each character has to do something.
Something, okay. Chester's going to try and make himself a forgery. He'll also offer it for anyone else.
Yep.
Unless
That's fair.
sneak in.
I'm surprised that thievery doesn't include forgery. I looked it up and it's just stealing and disabling.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that falls under crafting for this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fuzzy boundary there. I'll say this much. It's the DC for sneaking in and thievery is going to be 20. The DC for crafting and society is a little less at 18.
Ooh.
What about just, I know a guy?
It would be 20 for diplomacy, 18 for deception.
Oh.
Okay.
I could actually get the stealth or thievery with a 9 or up.
I will roll to see if I can make a convincing forgery.
I like how you held your dice like the
Okay.
Italian pinch.
So you go back after your visit with Micah, you go back to the Barrel and Bullet and start busting out your calligraphy set.
That's right.
Get your fake ID kit ready.
That's right. I get my homemade identity kit out.
My first little identikid.
My first forgery set.
Make your crafting
I
check.
am a little forager.
That is 6 plus
Oh, babe.
11 is 17.
You work and work for an hour or two.
And it's so close.
and it looks okay, and then you show it to Alonzo, and Alonzo says,
Nah.
Nah, man. Nah.
Can I try again?
I'm going to say you'd have to wait a day to get new supplies.
Okay. Dang it!
So should I wait? Not just going by myself?
Oh
Yeah, we're going to have to wait to attempt the stealth.
Yeah, we should probably all go together.
Yeah, no,
Do
we
you
should all
That's
go
right.
together.
Don't split the party. This
Never
is
split
not
the party.
other games.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want
Alright.
to try sneaking in? Get that disguise
What's your
hit?
stealth?
My stealth is plus 7. My
That's doable.
Deception and diplomacy are plus 5. Here's what I worry about is if I get caught sneaking in, there's going to be big ramifications
That's what I'm worried about for my roll.
Yeah.
rather than making a forgery, which if I fail away from the place. so there's no immediate ramifications.
So yeah, but this is all I got.
I'll throw you a bone real quick.
I like. All right.
If
I like
you
bones.
I like bones. Bones work.
specifically,
Bones work.
if you wear,
Damn, those bones worked.
if you all wear fancy clothes, like you go out of the way even to spend some money to get fancy
I'd do
clothes,
I see.
you can get a +2 bonus to any of these checks.
Oh, how much do fancy clothes cost?
Why don't we find out?
Alonzo would probably love the excuse to buy some fancy clothes.
Alonzo might have fancy clothes.
Alonzo might have fancy clothes.
If the
He
DM
likes
would
to
allow
dress. He likes to dress the part.
it. Alonzo,
He's a pretty boy.
Chester would not have fancy clothes. He's a farm boy. But I clean up nice, and so my mama tells me.
He just might need to get some that don't have a patch holding them together in one spot.
my fanciest clothes was from a funeral.
You got them dress overalls.
I got them dress overalls. I got patches in them though, so they ain't the best in round.
Yeah, it's from the cutscene, right?
Yeah, from the cutscene.
They had a
dress
funeral
overalls.
for my dad for some reason.
No,
I
he's
don't
just
know
going
why.
out to get milk.
Yeah, he's just gone out to get milk. He'll be back any time now.
From the
Whenever you say that, Psycheer just sort of sets a very big metallic paw on your back.
It feels like you're comforting me, but I don't know why you're comforting me.
You're just very soft.
Oh, thank you.
so according to the core rulebook, clothing (parentheses fine),
Ooh.
as in dress
Oh,
overalls,
it's only fine.
would
It's fine.
be light, bulk, and 2 gold pieces.
Oh,
Two
that's
whole
so
gold
worth it.
pieces? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
that's reasonable.
That's so worth it. Hey, can I store some of my gear at my room at the Barrel and Bullet?
Absolutely.
Geez, clothing high fashion fine are 55 gold pieces.
It's not that. That's ridiculous.
Good lord.
Only the best of the best for Chester.
So why don't you describe for me real quick?
Does this mean we wouldn't be wearing our armor here?
Probably not.
Okay.
I've got
good.
very
I don't
light
have armor anyway.
I've got very light leather armor. Could I just wear my stuff above it?
No.
Fair enough.
It would be bulky and noticeable. So you could wear it. No. If you want to fit in and get the bonus, not so much.
Okay, just gonna check in. I only have light armor.
All
That
right.
is valid.
I will note here, because Chester at the beginning of the day can make potions and whatnot. Chester's going to make a double batch of something called a Drakenheart mutagen. He's going to hand one to Alonzo. A moderate Drakenheart mutagen will give you a +5 item bonus with a dex cap of +2. So
That's an armor thing, right?
that's an armor thing, but you don't have to wear armor. You drink it and it gives you that.
Oh, that would be great.
So if we get into trouble here, we can potentially have armor. But I only make
Cool.
2. So I'm going to take one. I'm going to have Alonzo take one.
All right. So before we go into this, does anyone want to go around and describe the fancy attire?
I already looked up formal Western clothes for men.
Good. What does Alonzo look like then?
I found a suit coat, a black suit coat that has silver floral designs embroidered upon it.
Beautiful. What a dapper little man.
And he would, of course, have his little vest underneath, a vest underneath it, not just the shirt, with a bolo tie.
With a bolo tie, no less. Chester?
Chester gets oddly excited about this because he ain't had such fancy clothes ever, I think. Because, I mean, he lived out in the Manor Waste on a farm. He ain't need no fancy clothes. So, uncharacteristically, because he knows how to blend in when doing investigations, he buys like a bright orange full suit.
Oh, no.
With like a bright orange bow tie. And a bright orange cowboy hat.
A tall kind?
No. I'm going to say 10 gallon.
A 10 gallon?
A
Yeah.
3rd gallon hat.
Third gallon hat. And so it'll be orange pants, orange suit, orange hats.
So he's hunting.
Yeah. And
Oh,
he's
God.
like, I look great.
Oh, because I imagined him in something like with a tass, like a Western shirt with the tassels and all that.
I just found a picture of Chester's outfit.
That is it from Dumb and Dumber? It's the
No.
only thing I can think of. Oh, feed me.
I'll show that one in the video. There he is.
But the hat is like, it's a real cowboy hat. It's just orange, probably from Magic.
All right.
But I should note that the suit coat is black.
Okay. And then, Psyche, what are you acquiring for your formal wear, do you think?
A silky brown bedla.
What's a bedla?
I have to look it up too.
I'm uncultured.
Look it up.
How's this spelled?
Bedlah.
Oh, I found mushrooms. I was really confused.
Bedla.
Oh. Okay.
Something that would better reflect from their culture because they are catfolk from the desert. And I figured that would be.
That probably fits because they're also nomadic as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You all look dressed to the nines. And so, what did you get total on your crafting for your forged badge thing? 17.
With the +2, it would become a 19. The DC's 18.
Yeah, you may. It's not good, but basically, what you come. Let's reframe this. So Chester shows the forged thing to Alonzo. It's like middle of the day. Alonzo, you pinch your nose and you're like, we got to get close. That's the only way this ID is going to work.
It's almost good enough.
Now, did you want Chester to make you a ID as well, Psyche?
No.
What do you want to do? Do you want to just...
I'm just going to be like, hey, I know that guy. Buy me a drink.
Okay. So you'll roll deception when you get to the door. And Alonzo, did you want an ID
This would
forged?
be not deception.
What?
This would be persuasion, right? Or diplomacy.
Yeah, sure. We can do
I'm
that
a little
too.
afraid to roll stealth or thievery with how badly I've been rolling lately. That would have
But
negative connotations or ramifications.
Do you want to stealth into the place?
So badly.
Do it.
Do it. Follow your heart.
No. Instead of stealthing into the place, I got what would be the real Alonzo thing. Stealth is, he does it, but it's not his thing. Can he use thievery to palm somebody's ID who looks somewhat similar to him?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to do.
Do you want to also sneak in, Psyche?
No.
What do you want to do?
The diplomacy thing.
Diplomacy.
That was one of the things mentioned, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He just tries to palm somebody's ID.
All right, so it comes to the end of the day, and you get up here. Go ahead and make me your thievery check, Alonzo.
And do I get the +2 because of my fancy clothes?
Yes. Because, yes, but it's not like you get the bonus to stealing. The way it works is you have to make the thievery check to get the ID, but then you're using the ID.
I gotcha.
And that's where the +2
Come on,
effectively
baby. Come
comes
on,
in.
baby. 9 or higher. 9 or higher. A 6.
Oh, no. What's the total?
17.
This is for stealing it, right?
Yeah.
Then this might be a lower DC anyway.
No.
This isn't
No,
to
it's
get
a
in.
higher one.
Oh.
And that's with the +2?
I wanted to so bad, but I knew. Wait, with the +2, it becomes a 19.
19.
Which is not enough.
Let me check.
You said it was 20.
Well,
This is why I didn't want to do it.
Well, that's the sneak into the back door. This is a different thing if you're trying to palm someone's ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that, it would be 18, so you pass.
I do?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Love passing just barely.
20 is specifically to sneak into the back door. So you pass.
But my boy's not as much a sneaky boy. This one's more of a...
sleight of hand kind of deal.
Yeah.
So Chester passes, and then you get to the door, Psyche, and they look at you. What do you tell them when you roll diplomacy?
I am here to meet an old client of mine.
Okay, roll.
So I rolled a 12. That's +9 and then +2.
Yes. So that would be 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of you are decked out. You're dressed up like you wouldn't believe. And you make it in to the Longhorn Lounge.
Yeah.
And as you enter the place,
Oh, no.
it is like really high end. Like it's one of those places that's kind of more dimly lit, and there's a lot of like soft, warm colors from the wood and paneling and everything. There's a rodeo on, and there's a little bit of arena, but there's also like a sidebar restaurant area. What are you going to do to gather information?
You should know that in the background, Alonzo's doing everything he can to hold in a high-pitched squeal. He's so excited to be in here.
We finally made it to the Longhorn Steakhouse.
Oh, I can't wait to get me some of them bread.
I want that steak still mooing.
I pick that one.
Blue rare?
Points to the display.
They make them big in Alkenstar.
And can I get the mashed potatoes?
Everything's bigger in Alkenstar.
So I guess before you get to work, you have a
steak.
a steak and a high-end meal.
Which is complimentary because we're high-end people. It's been paid for.
Do I actually know anybody in here?
No,
Okay.
See, so
not
what
today
we
anyway.
what we know
Not today
so
anyway.
far,
So
Alonzo is so excited.
that would have just been deception then. But it's the same
It's
modifier.
the same. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
the what we know so far is that the Powderkeg Punks tried to break into here. Trying being the key word, meaning they probably failed, and that someone who sounds like their leader was seen in the area while it was happening. Because their leader was the monkey goblin, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then I guess
Do we get to drink wine in little like champagne and all in little fancy glasses
Absolutely.
while we're at the club?
Chester is not the best at actually talking to people with diplomacy or deception.
Neither am I.
But he is. But this is
am.
gather information,
Yeah.
right? Okay, then yes, because I can use society to do that.
Yeah.
So what Chester's going to do is he'll like find a head of staff, and he'll be like, "Hi there, I got some questions for you.
Yes, sir.
This place is
But this is a rodeo place. His accent
Yeah.
won't be bad.
yeah. I mean, it's cowboys here. Come on.
Yeah, it's a cowboy.
Bloomin' onions, sir.
No, not
my
right now. See, I'm a bit distracted. I'm a little worried. See, I see this place as kind of. It's a fancy place, and I like it.
course.
So I'm used to. Don't worry, I'm used to places like this, obviously.
Obviously.
But I don't
Fucking
know.
Snape. You get that Alan Rickman out of here.
Alan Rickman's just the head of staff you're talking to.
I don't know if I feel safe here. You see, I heard rumors that a while back, some less than savory types tried to break in.
Oh, yes.
Something I heard they were like little goblins. The Powderkeg Punks tried to break in. They even had some kind of fancy automatonic monkey with them.
Now, did you already roll your society?
No,
Go ahead and roll it.
14 plus 11,
Oh,
25.
yes, there was some sort of armor-clad clockwork monkey goblin who came in with one of the members recently. It was some, gun-toting clockwork gangster. The monkey goblin was, but I don't remember exactly who brought him in. I do know that they were banned for doing that.
The guest was, or the monkey was?
The patron who brought him in as a guest.
Oh.
And they were ejected because they were quite uncouth. I believe I saw him snort gunpowder. Unbelievable.
That sounds about right. They're nasty folk.
Unthinkable.
They were yelling as they were leaving out, and I swear I remember something about a widget works. I don't know. They were
Widget works.
something about meeting at the widget works. I, quite frankly, would like to forget the incident wholesale. But yeah, they were escorted off the premises, and the patron has been banned from returning.
Well, that is something else. I do like to hear that you keep this place for, calm down for people who deserve to be here. Of
course.
With money and whatnot. Because we're so much better than other people.
Nose in the air.
So you couldn't tell me who that guest was.
I don't rightly remember, and to be fair, our list of patrons is quite private.
I mean, that makes sense. I hear you. Well, I do feel a good bit safer now. Thank you. I'll take that bloomin' onion now.
Okay, would you like a refill of your Miller Lite?
Yes.
Imagine.
That was a test.
No
You don't belong
fancy
here.
person drinks Miller Lite. They drink Miller Heavy.
Only sparkling champagne for the fancy people.
Wow. Wow.
My cover's blown.
Run, Chester, run.
So you find out this information. What do you do, Chester?
If he happens upon Saikir or Alonzo while they're, not busy with other people, he will let them know. Just let them know a guest brought in a monkey goblin. It was our guy, but the waiter wouldn't tell me which guest it was, and says something about a widget works.
That sounds like we need gossip.
Yeah.
Gossip's easy to find if you hide in the shadows there.
Yeah, I might go talk to some other people, but
I'll say this much. He mentioned not being able to talk about patrons. Alonzo. You get the idea that there probably exists a list of patrons here somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, but I could maybe thieve.
Oh.
You could. Make me a perception check, all of you.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Come on, die.
Oh.
Much better.
Oh no. Oh, that's barely in the 2 digits.
I got a
Nope.
Single digits.
Yep.
Oh. I got a total of 26.
24.
Alonzo and Chester, you both notice that in the check-in area there is a record book of the guests. And so if someone was banned, you might be able to get it from there. So...
Oh.
Can we form some sort of a distraction to see if I can get a bonus on my stealth?
Everybody hands up, this is stick up!
I don't think that would be necessary.
Bang, 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 bang.
But like legit, could we do that?
if you want to.
Find the waiter and I shoot him.
You could. There's. You don't just have to steal it too. You could try to butter the right palms,
Yeah.
What, you mean put some gold in their palm?
or just scare the shit out of someone.
Think
There's a lot of ways to skin this horse.
we could do a distraction. I think that we should try the gossip avenue first.
Oh yeah, let's save sneaking the book for a last ditch effort.
Yeah, because if we fail that, we'll actually get in trouble.
Yeah.
But Kat wants to sneak into the book.
I will go talk to somebody.
Okay.
This is my calling.
Who do you, is there? Do you want to talk to like staff? Do you want to talk to other patrons here?
Yes, I'm going to talk to the staff.
Staff gossip.
Do you want to talk to Alan Rickman as well?
No.
Find some maids or something. They gossip.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to like a bus boy.
Okay.
Ooh, busboys would hear everything.
Go ahead and make me a. What do you want to say to the busboy?
Bus boy!
No. So what is your experience like working here?
Oh, this place pretty great. Pays pretty good. There's lots of good steak.
I've been hoping that I might be able to find an entertaining gig somewhere in the area.
Oh,
I transferred from a less savory side of town, and I'm hoping that this would be a bit safer for someone of my delicate nature.
Did you just flick your non-existent hair?
That's my ear.
Oh, your ear. He says, "Oh, I mean, you can talk to the boss if you want to do performing or get on the call here. I don't think we have a ton of bards come in because most people come for the rodeo, but we do have music, stuff like that. I like it here. It's pretty good.
It's not rough.
I mean, every now and then you have some events, but we keep that list pretty pruned for the good patrons, and the bad ones, you get kicked out."
When was the most recent incident?
Make a diplomacy check.
I rolled a 14.
Not bad.
With my bonus, that would be a 23.
Ooh, nice.
23. With a 23, he's like, well, there was this, about a week ago, there was an incident where these Powderkeg Punks, I think is what they were called, some monkey goblin in clockwork armor came in and was pretty raucous fellow. They got kicked out, and the guy who brought him in also got kicked out and kicked off our list. I remember him yelling something because it was a stink. He said it should have met at the Widget Works or whatever that place is.
Who would associate with a gang like that?
I don't know. It befuddles me. But, like I said, we keep this place pretty pruned for the good customers.
I'll be sure to check in with your manager about open positions. Thank you so much.
And so you leave him. He basically just trying to get information. Some, especially like him, won't even know. People here either won't know, and those who will know are like people who deal with roles who you either need to like bribe them or try to steal the list or make a copy of it.
Could I deceive them into leaving a post to make
Scandalous.
Yes.
A diversion.
Yes.
Sure. What do you want to do?
This is a stick up.
No. You need to give them your show. You have to perform your act.
I've only got a +4 to performance.
Never mind.
I mean, I am a charisma caster. I could try.
That was all I could think of.
All right.
Be like, someone shat on the table.
Go. Good heavens.
Does this place have reservations? Do I know?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go up to the concierge? No. To the front runner.
Okay.
Whoever's managing it. I don't want to alarm you, but it seems as though there has been a double booked table and there could be a fight breaking out over there.
Make a deception check.
Can I help?
What do you say?
I'll go over to a table and be like, hey, I think this is my table.
And I'm not helping because I'm going to use this as my chance to get to the book.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So make a deception check, Psyche here.
Oh,
with
okay.
You also make a deception check, Chester.
Oh.
25.
25.
Jesus, no. 18.
18.
Hey, I think this is my table. You need to get up so I can sit down and have my meal.
The person says, take me. Could you take me to the table? Let's figure this out.
Reservation. What are you doing at my table?
And then starts walking with you over there. Make me a thievery check,
Is it
Alonzo.
thievery or stealth? I don't want to steal the book. I just want to flip through it real
It'd be
quick.
thievery to check it and make a copy without being noticed.
Okay, then I will do thievery.
I called like 2 months in advance. Get off! Wait, no, get off of me! This is my table.
Hang on. Why don't you and I just go to the bar and we can have a drink? I'm sure that we'll have time once this table clears up. I'll handle this one. Psychier says to the
Attendant.
attendant.
Thank you, big purple die.
Alonzo.
I got a natty 15 for a 26.
Oh, Alonzo, you are able to take a copy of all the patrons who have been banned, or been in here at all for the past 2 weeks.
Get your hands off me! This is my table.
And I just, nonchalantly slide away.
Pull your microphone back.
Calm down. Let's just go get another Miller Heavy,
All right.
and then we can
so
eat once the table clears up.
You guys reconvene outside after this whole show, and you look over the list.
Oh, Alonzo looks rather smug because he did it.
I may have overreacted.
It's okay.
My apologies.
That was very funny. That was very funny.
It worked.
At the end of your night, enjoying the rodeo and the food, you reconvene and you look over the list that Alonzo was able to copy, and you compare it to the list of names you saw at Rika's place, and one name sticks out. That is on both. A shocking coincidence.
Gattlebee.
You see a name, Shoma Lyserius.
Oh.
But more importantly, not only do you notice these two names in common, you notice that on the order form that you probably copied over, Chester, that Lyserius had recently ordered a lot of stuff that can be used to make explosives. And Lyserius was banned about a week ago from the Longhorn Lounge.
It's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And that's where we're going to pick up next episode.
No.
The plot
But we just got information.
Oh, the plot chickens.
The plot chickens. You investigated.
Full circle.
And we got to spend the night at a club.
Doesn't make any sense.
Full circle. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Third Gallon Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. If you want to see more from us, check out our website, thirdgallon.com, or follow us on Twitter. We are at Third Gallon, that's THIRD Gallon. You can also tweet at us using the hashtag Third Gallon, and we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with the same handle, at Third Gallon. We also publish a video version of the podcast on YouTube, which you can find on our channel, The Third Gallon. Our theme for this season is Delta Rust, composed by Andy Ellison. Our ambience for this episode was composed by Michael Ghelfi, and you can find more of his work on his YouTube channel, Michael Ghelfi Studios. And you can support his awesome work at patreon.com/Michael Ghelfi. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.